All right, hello. Welcome to 9 Plus Wine, episode 6. Today we have a French cider. So this is 3.5%, only 2.1 standard drinks in the whole bottle.
Where's it come from?
So France, like I said.
Yeah, but what region? We spelled it out last time.
Okay. This cider is called Argyle, so I'm assuming that is the brand that creates it. Cider with a R-E, C-I-D-R-E. Cider du Fort Manuel, Fermier. This is 14140 St. George's Enauge. That's where it's from. E-N-A-U-G-E. St. George's Enauge.
Easier to say than last time.
It is a bit easier. We've even got the phone number if you want to have a look at it. Have a gaze. So
It's going to pop everywhere?
I don't know. Not sure. I've actually seen this.
Oh, wow, that is so anticlimactic. Is there a way to pour cider? Is it just straight in?
I want you to put your thumb in the bottom and with 3 fingers pour it. Don't do that, dickhead. Oh, I'm impressed. You have a bit of icing up. Oh my God.
Okay,
Nice.
Cool. Sweet. Thank you.
Nice. Ooh, good colour.
Yeah, that's good.
So my take before tasting this is that it would be an in-bottle fermentation, in-bottle carbonation, which means what they've done, if I'm right, I could be wrong, is they've done the ferment and they want to hit that 3.5%. So it's really sweet. It's going to have a lot of the initial flavours still there.
Oh, wow.
Probably get that from the smell, but then what they've done is they've either crashed the cider or pasteurized it. And in France, I'm pretty sure that they normally cold crash, stabilize, so it still has a lot of the sugar in there. And then, if they want to, they add some priming yeast and let it carbonate in the bottle, which is interesting.
You're not all show. You know your stuff.
Well, that might be accurate, and it might not be accurate because I haven't looked it up. Yeah,
Cheers, mate.
No claim to fame there. Ooh, a bit more tannins than normal.
I thought it'd be way
buttier.
sweeter.
So one thing we don't know is the type of apple that we
Oh, man,
used.
that is delicious.
I like the mid-palate taste in there. You get that? You know the tannins in the middle, the real bitey part?
It's just caught me off guard. I'm going to say that is a 7.3.
I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I one sip. Everyone knows the rule. I'm going to say 7.
Okay. Good score.
Everyone knows the rules. One sip.
Anyway, just to kick off today, we kind of want to touch on what's on the tips of everyone's lips, which is obviously COVID-19. My job's been impacted by it. I'm sure a lot of other people's jobs have been impacted by it. I don't know if anyone saw the post that I shared, but WOOLIES is actually cancelling any returns that customers want to bring back, i.e. toilet paper, which I think is fantastic.
Could we just talk about toilet paper for a second? Why are people taking it? What's the go?
I don't.
Does anyone actually know why people are hoarding toilet paper? No. I don't know. I don't have an answer. No. It seems funny.
I got nothing. I think it's hilarious. The fact that people are actually trying to return it now because they've got a garage full of toilet paper.
That was inevitable.
And now they're saying, no, you can't. And there is nothing more satisfying than telling a customer no in a retail space. If you have worked in retail and you have told a customer no, you know there is nothing more satisfying.
This is good.
So just props to you, Woolies. If you're watching this, good stuff.
Sponsored by yeah, but look, coronavirus as a more. Look, it hasn't really affected what I'm doing either with the cider or my other job, but why don't you dive into what it means for what you're doing?
So I work in a supply chain role. So like a lot of people surrounded by agricultural industries, this impact has had a massive impact in terms of the store level. So when you think of a Woolworths or a Coles or an Aldi, everyone's stocking up on their mints or their long life items. And what in turns that does is it's a sharp spike in demand. What does the supply chain try to do? It tries to match that sharp spike in demand by increasing supply. There's usually about a 6-week lead time until that happens. And you'll find that by the end of the 6 weeks, the demand's done that. And now there's an oversupply or an overabundance. We're going to see that hit the market in about 6 weeks. Right now, it's a very challenging time to try and source product to keep all these industries going. And we'll find that not so much the actual primary material will be impacted, but the supporting materials that came from China, your plastic liners, your cardboard, anything to do with sanitation or cleaning equipment. You don't think of that sort of stuff until you're actually buying that. And then they're saying, okay, well, that's a lead time of 12 weeks when you're only expected 6 weeks. So I think in 6 weeks' time, you're going to start to see a lot more shortages than what we're seeing now.
We haven't really seen many at the moment, have we?
No, because it
hasn't come in effect yet.
Yeah.
I'm waiting for like consumer products like Adidas and Nike and AirPods and iPhones and all that shit's not going to be coming out of China or it might be delayed, I don't know.
Yeah, it started to come back online now, but the damage is already done.
Well, we just heard that in America they cancelled all flights from all of Europe except Britain to the United States.
Yes.
That, obviously, if anyone's watching the market, that made the market crash again to become a bear market yesterday. Was that after that news?
Oh, I think it's just a multitude of things. I think there's a lot of emotional investors that are thinking, I need to get out now before it gets worse. And for myself and you, it's a perfect opportunity. Like I was saying to people today, this is probably the opportunity of our generation in terms of we can wait 30 years until, we can put our money down now and wait 30 years. And I think in 30 years time, coronavirus is going to be a little blip like Black Monday or the GFC. All I would say is just don't take just the news as information. Look at the fundamentals. You think of the NBA that's been cancelled. The season's been suspended. NHL, hockey has been suspended. NCAA has been suspended. What's the other one? Baseball's been suspended. Think of the actual impacts that are happening past just not being able to turn up to a game. How do you make a game happen? You've got catering, you've got employees working casually at the place, you've got tourism, you've got your bars and your restaurants before and after the game, you've got your flights there, you've got your hotels. Like that has a massive impact. And you think of all the staff that'll be impacted by that, made redundant or won't be put on a shift because they're casual. All that goes through my mind when I think of that is mortgage defaults. Not to the extent of the GFC, but I think that we're going to see a real impact of that happening in Australia.
Well, yeah, it's nuts.
No one really knows. That was just an outlay too much.
No, it's not too much. I like that. I watched a bit of a video about an Italian, like a doctor that lives in Italy at the moment that put up a post basically. I think it was on Twitter. And it went along the lines of like, don't underestimate this virus. And I've been more along the lines of like, the media's blowing this out of proportion. It's not going to be that bad, et cetera, et cetera. But then the way that they worded it was like, it starts off with one case and no one really worries about it. And then it gets to a point where it's like, all right, you need to stop congregating in mass amounts of people. And we saw that come out today. They've cancelled any events above 500 people in Australia.
Is that what
came out today?
Wow.
Yeah. So that's one thing. The event next Friday night is 450. So that they sent out an email today. And currently in Italy where this person was, they're actually turning people away that are having strokes and come into the ER room because they can't deal with them. They're
What a moral dilemma. I mean, if you're looking at an elderly person and a young person that has coronavirus,
you might have more risk to enter that hospital with a stroke because there's people in there with this virus, because obviously the elderly people with heart conditions, etc., lung conditions are more at risk. So they basically said you're better off grabbing some fucking Xanax and having your stroke at home.
Off you go, old mate. No, but
that's it.
If you look at the news articles, they are saying people are going to get turned away. There are not enough beds for the amount of cases that are happening.
Yeah, and we don't know. Like, it's obviously too early to tell. When you see this video, it's obviously going to be a week later or so. But we don't know what it's going to look like in Australia in a couple of months, in a month, who knows. But there's some pretty simple things you can do. Just fucking wash your hands. And if someone's sick, stay away from them.
Thanks, Dr. Nathan. I mean, look, the one thing I've noticed is in the city, it's a lot more hostile at the moment. Like, it feels a bit quieter. Everyone's a bit angsty. You come out west, you know, we're based in Picton, and it's a bit more relaxed.
It is relaxed.
You need to think from a point of view, if you're going to work in the city, you're getting on public transport most likely, you're working in a group shared office environment, and then you're going to a gym where about 150 people are at the same time.
And have been.
So the amount of interactions you're having is sevenfold compared to maybe living in Picton, where you drive to work with the same 35 guys every day, and then go home. So
that's pretty common sense.
It makes sense why it's probably a bit more chill here.
Yeah. Well, it'll be interesting how much it closed down. Like, the holidays have been extended for schools. What else have you seen happen?
In Italy, the only things that are open at the moment are pharmacies, and I think I don't know what else it is.
I haven't done too much research on it, to be honest.
It's interesting to see what will happen with Australia.
I've just been watching the stock market because it's exciting. I'm keen to get back in. We actually wanted to address some feedback that we got 2 weeks ago. Some people got in touch with us and said, look guys, love your podcast, but you're swearing too much. So my take on that is I generally don't ever swear at someone. If I'm swearing, it's normally as an expression. So if anyone gets offended by my swearing, harden up, firstly. You're probably a boomer. And secondly, like, just relax. I don't really value it that much. But that's my take. What's your take, Nick?
My take is I appreciate the feedback. And it's something that I'm actively working on not to swear as much, because I think that's an important part of being an adult.
I am as well, by the way.
Oh, okay.
I am.
Yeah, that was a solid backstep.
I'm working on it.
Okay, boomer.
Okay, you finish what you're saying. I just like to trigger some people.
No, you have. You've definitely triggered some people. And then you've triggered more people with the backstep, which I love.
Continue. I have something to say when you're done.
No, I just think, like, you know, it's better not to swear as much. I get that I was swearing a fair bit, but if I get passionate about something, it's just going to go. You know, I'm not actively thinking, I better not swear or anything like that.
Hey, bros. The only other thing I wanted to say was, like, I've spent 6 years at a coal mine. Swearing is just inherently part of my vocabulary at the moment. And I am trying to get better at it, and I have gotten better at it, but ultimately it's not something I spend a lot of time thinking about. Don't think it matters. I heard a judge swear in court once, so I'm off the hook.
No. But the feedback is good, and keep the feedback coming. We're going to try and make the lead time between filming and episode release a bit tighter, so that way we can have a bit more of real-time feedback and talk and answer about your queries and what you're kind of talking about. The other thing I actually wanted to talk about, which Nathan doesn't know, is to actually get a cider update. We've had 6 episodes, and, you know, we spoke about Nathan's cider in episode 1, but we haven't really had a cider update or where he's at in the canning process, or, you know, do you have a new batch coming? You got any new products you want to plug? Mate, it's an open book. Just plug us.
Part of this podcast is the fact that I don't want to talk about the cider. I feel like it's a sales pitch. It doesn't make me comfortable. But since you asked, we just sold out of sparkling apple juice yesterday. Congrats. And then we canned 2,000 litres today. So we're not sold out anymore, which is...
Well timed, Nathan.
Good timing, I thought.
So 2,000 litres, how many cans is that?
That's about 4,800 cans. We did 203 cases, so you can work that out. I think that's probably accurate. And then next week, going absolute balls deep, doing 20,000 litres of cider. And that is definitely something I'm anxious about. Super. Apart from buying all the equipment initially, this is probably the most I have gone into the business, I guess. The biggest risk I've taken. And I'd be lying if I said that with everything going on in the coronavirus, I haven't second guessed whether I should be doing that. I spoke to Nick about this before. What I like to do is think about it until it's too late to think about it, and then I have to do it anyway. So that's probably what's going to happen. It'll get to Tuesday when we're going to crush the apples. So in my cool room, there's like 20 ton of apples ready to get crushed. Some Galas, Pink Ladies, Fujis, all the good stuff. And if I don't tell Damien before Tuesday that we're not doing it, then it's going ahead. So I'm working 7 to 7 tomorrow, Sunday, Monday. Not likely to have time to cancel anything. And that's how I just happen to roll with all big decisions in life. It's like
head first, think later.
Yeah, 100%. That's sad but accurate.
It's worked for you so far.
It has. Okay. I've always landed on my feet so far, and I'll continue to do so. But yeah, thanks for the update.
Except with the cans exploding. But.
Yeah, but I still land on my feet somehow. And with that, that means that it's not going to be until the end of April when you will see this new batch come out. I'm very excited for that. We've got, well, part of the perks of doing that size is that your cans can look better. You're actually able to get a better looking can. Instead of a labelled can, you can get a printed can. The cost comes down a little bit. I'm happy to pass that on to you guys, and it means I can start dealing with bigger companies that want to see that sort of quantity before they'll take you on. But yeah, that's my update. Thanks for asking.
It's all right.
Yeah.
I mean, look, you haven't spoken about it much, and I think that's pretty humble of you not to really mention it. But I don't know, people want to know what's going on. Surely,
people do want to know what's going on. And I like people ask me, but like I said, this podcast is definitely, I don't know. I'm not doing this to try and talk about the cider. I'm drinking someone else's cider. Tell me another company that would do that.
Yeah, that's a good point. You're advertising the cider industry, but which is selfish in itself.
I think there's enough, I'm
taking the piss.
There's enough in the system for everyone to get some.
It's good wine. Cider. Good cider. It's good cider.
It is a good cider. I'm actually keen for red next weekend as well.
Yeah.
But what are your tasting notes on this cider?
I've got nothing, to be honest. I mean, I thought it was going to be sweet. It actually tastes amazing. But in terms of tasting notes, I'm not at that level of elegance yet.
Neither am I, but let's have a stab.
Okay.
When you look at this bottle, I did it. I saw 3.5% of alcohol. And initially that to me says, if my cider was 3.5%, it would be super sweet. And this is not sweet.
No, it's good.
It has a lot of acid, has a lot of tannins. You can feel it go from your front palate to your back palate. And it definitely sits in your mouth after you finish drinking it.
Good flavour.
Good flavour
profile. You know, I don't feel lethargic after drinking it.
No.
That's
no, definitely not.
Where did you get it from?
I bought this from P&V Wine Merchants in Newtown. So shout out to them. Actually very good. I'm not surprised because they have a good product range. They haven't let me down yet, but and probably won't. They do stock my cider if you're asking.
I'm trying to think. I want to make a bet with you for when this is getting released. When do you reckon? Tuesday? Let's go Tuesday.
Say Wednesday.
Wednesday?
Yeah. Because Tuesday is Grace's day off. That's why.
I want to try and make a bet. I'm waiting for it to load. I'm trying to figure out what the ASX closed at. I want you to have a call of what it's going to be on Wednesday.
Can you Google that? Just type in on Google ASX 200.
ASX 200. I want to know what you think it's going to be at on Wednesday.
On Wednesday. So my prediction for the weekend and the next Monday and Tuesday, I think that it's going to get worse. I think that we're starting to see it affect bigger countries, and the flow-on effects will start to kick in. I don't really think that we've seen anything massively affect any of our economies from China, but I think that will start to come in.
Yeah, that's going to come soon.
I think that, that flow-on effect is probably going to start soon, and it's a pretty safe bet that that's going to happen over the weekend with this new travel ban. It's going to fuck a lot of markets. But the funniest thing is, if you look at the market and actually line it up with when Trump gave his talk, it went like this, because he said that all travel and cargo is going to get stopped. And half an hour later, he put a tweet out saying it was just travel. So the cargo was like not banned anymore. And then the stocks went like that. Because imagine if I have no idea how many tankers are currently circulating the seas, but if they stopped, like, we would be fucked. I know, I'm not going to say a dollar amount, but I know a fuckload of money is held up from the business that I work at because some of our parts come from China, and that shit's not coming.
Yeah.
That's like not coming, and we're in trouble.
Wait for the first domino to fall. That's all I'm going to say. Like, we're yet to see a massive airline. Wait till the first one goes bankrupt. Like, how long can these airlines sustain cutting their flights by a third? You know, how long can you do that for?
You can't.
It's not sustainable. So it'll be interesting to see what happens.
Did you listen to the Snacks podcast?
I didn't.
They were talking about bailouts. So when, especially in America, when
GFC,
this sort of shit happens, they start bailing out companies because so many other companies rely on them. And they were saying that Delta, which is the biggest Air Force... is it Delta? No.
American Airlines?
Boeing.
Oh, it's the actual manufacturer.
The company Boeing, it's like its own industry. They have like over 600 different companies that make that one plane, and they reckon that is a company that's going to get bailed out because they're going to... Obviously, their stocks are going fucked. How much time do we have? A couple of minutes. So
everything with the news with the 737s just put them in a bad spot already.
My prediction, Tuesday, we're going to be 7% less than the end of Friday.
Okay, what's the market at now, Grace?
$5,539.30.
I reckon we're going to be 5-1.
5-1.
Tuesday, 11 a.m.
4-8.
4-8.
4,800. Tuesday closing.
Tuesday closing.
That was as of 5:30 p.m.
Yeah,
that's
over 4,800.
So the market's going to
close.
open on Tuesday morning, and I think it opens at 10. I think at 11 a.m. Tuesday, it's going to be at 5-1.
Okay, well, you've changed the rules. That's fine. 4,950. 5,100 or 4,950?
See who's closer.
Yeah, we will. On Tuesday.
We will make sure this comes out after that, which it will. It's going to come out Wednesday, and whoever wins is going to have an arrow over their head at the moment.
Arrow?
Yeah, Grace is going to make that happen.
Okay, sounds good.
Maybe. I don't know.
Thanks for tuning in this week, guys. I'm guessing we are going to be on this time next week. No?
We're going to be at dinner this time next week.
Oh, fuck yes.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
This time fortnight, we're going to do this again.
Okay.
Can't wait. Be a red wine, neck up. We've actually got some friends outside, so if my friends are listening, thanks for being patient.
Thanks, guys. Cheers.